there, my name is Making the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I came across a quite interesting article this morning, courtesy of your boy Zach. He did a video on it. We've had a problem fan. We have a problem fan of, I would say, completely crazy people, completely insane, hateful, malicious people in every way, coming into fandom and calling everybody else hateful and malicious and wanting them to get out of fandom. It's really strange. Now, I want to be very clear. These fans, they do gravitate to the current era of Doctor Who. And this article from Reason Magazine, which is a magazine about professional psychotherapy, I believe, really explains why and dissects it. I don't think there's any cure. But, the fans of, the type of people I'm talking about are attracted to the current era. I want to be really clear. There are fans of the current era who just like it, right? They're normal people who just like, this is fun. My daughter likes it. I watch it. My kids like, these are fine. Yeah, and these are fine. I have them watch my channel. They comment often, and God bless them. Absolutely, God bless them. I always say, if they get 1/10 of the pleasure that out of the current era Doctor Who that I've got through everything other than the current era Doctor Who, good for them, absolutely good for them. I'm totally not talking about those people. I'm talking about the crazy people, and these crazy people have invaded every strata of fandom. Even knitting fandom, which is a bit weird, right? So anyway, so fine. We're going to be reading that together. We're going to look at it, and it's absolutely fascinating. I'm going to if I have time, if it depends how long it slips on for, I'll bring examples to you can see the article says this and we'll see them do that. It's absolutely incredible. Before we get there though, can you hit the like button? That would be really good. Can you hit the share button? I think people should know about this. This is quite important because this goes across all fans. Hit the share button. Most important, can you hit that subscribe button? That would be freaking awesome. I'm over 2,000 subscribers, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I want to get to 4,000 now, 5,000. So hit the subscribe button. That's the trouble, YouTubing is a voracious pastime that you're never satisfied with. You always want more and more. Well, I do anyway, because I'm a bit of a megalomaniac. Before I go forward, by the way, I want to wish everybody happy Hanukkah, Caesar's greetings, wherever you are in the world. I do like this time of year. I really do. I've always liked English Christmas, which is, I think, absolutely marvelous. If you subscribe to the channel, you can, of course, enter my competition. This is supposed to be given away tonight. I might schlep it out a little bit longer because I do like this prize. I haven't decided yet, but the prize is Ghostbusters on Blu-ray. Who are you going to call? It's a great transfer upgrade to HD. Tons of good extras. Lots about the game. I really like that Ghostbusters game that came out about the same time, about 5 years ago. Before, the girly Ghostbusters, which honestly, I've tried to watch a few times. I just haven't been able to get through it without just falling asleep. Thank God I didn't have a YouTube channel then, so I didn't have to review it because it's really rough. Anyway, all you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, and in the comments leave the hashtag who are you gonna call. All the information you need to win it is in the video notes. While you're in the video notes, while you're checking it out, go click this link over there to my Indiegogo. I got these 2 graphic novels coming out over here. I don't know when I'm launching the campaign. I hope maybe this week, maybe next week. I don't know. I got a lot of work to be before I do it, but I'm building up an email list. You can add your name to it. Freaking awesome! Thank you very much. Anybody who joins the email list gets one of these 4 art cards with any purchase. And if you get the package, which you get both graphic novels and all the art cards for free, then I'm going to give you a chaser card because I'm really insanely grateful for everybody help me out and adding their name. Thank you very much. Fine, so let's look at this article, shall we? It's over here. Doink. Self-victimhood is a personality type, researchers said. Now, I don't know what any of that means. Personality type, but self-victimhood. Okay, so let's read forward. People who suffer from a tendency for interpersonal victimhood. Now, this is sounding a bit familiar. Present themselves as weak, hurt, and here's the most important part: vengeful. Right? This is the thing that I think that really nails them to that mark because they are. They are angry and embittered at everyone. Now, there are a few types of people within this. You have the mentally ill people. You have the people who clearly have some I don't know, some form of mental illness because they're completely insane. you have like people with mental disorder, autism. Yeah, they're very, very prone to join this group. You have people who are just miserable, broke communists, right? And they're just angry at everyone else. And you have, I think, probably the worst people, just the people who aren't insane, just like going around hurting people, right? Just really enjoy it, get off on it. And I just find that the worst trait humanly possible. I would say Tom Vance. That's probably what Howard described Tom Vance. He's one of the guy who started the Not My Doctor a hate group. It's a hate group, and I really genuinely believe he does it because he really gets off on hurting people. Because that's who he is, but he does it in sanctity. But again, they're all described herein within this article. Many social commentators have argued that the emerging victimhood culture, that exists, incentivizes people to see themselves as weak, traumatized, and aggrieved. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And I think that there's another element. It incentivizes people to white knight, to defend people who they see as victimized. So Jodie Whittaker is a woman, so they believe that she's part of a victimized group. So anybody not liking her Doctor Who, therefore hates women. So therefore they are part of the victimizers. Therefore it's okay to vilify them and be the most terrible human beings in the entire world. And that's essentially what their thought process is, as they've said many times over to me when I do interact with them on Twitter, which I don't do so much anymore. Although I did enjoy it, I got friends who want me to leave it alone. I like rattling the cages a bit. So in terms of in higher education, this has been associated with increased demands for specific accommodations like trigger warnings, which don't work. Exactly. Has anybody seen a trigger warning work? Now, I'm going to say that Churchill was a good person in a minute, so nobody panic. And they're like, no! Whatever they get triggered about, which is many things, or policing microaggressions, which is ill-conceived, right? Because they, I think, most things can be described as a microaggression. But what if this is not merely a trend, but an entire personality type? Makes me think being a personality type is a thing, is an important thing. A new paper in the scientific journal Personality and Individual Differences posits a tendency for interpersonal victimhood. TIV. So that's what they are. That's who they are. They have a tendency for personal victimhood. Now he's going to define them, right? Freaking incredible. An archetype defined by several truly toxic traits. Okay, so let's see what they are. A pathological need for recognition. Yeah, we said not achievement, right? Recognition, right? It's somebody if somebody needs to be recognized. Here, let me give you a good example. Again, this guy Tom Vance, who got his Twitter account suspended somehow. I really don't know how. Got his Twitter account suspended or closed for bullying people because he likes hurting people, right? So he had to start a new one. So he's been really excited that he's got the same number of followers now after starting his new campaign, his new Twitter account than before, which to me seems kind of obvious, but anyway. Well, this calls for a midnight celebration. A hearty thumbs up while being blinded by a phone torch. Thank you ever so much for sticking up for us, gang. The growth is, again, haven't achieved anything. Exactly the same people followed him now. Yes, I understand there are 2,000 plus of you crazy people. Although I think probably there's 50 with all the stock background. The road to 2,000 starts now. Yeah, exactly. So constant need. Pathological need for recognition, 100%. A difficulty empathizing with the others. How often have we seen that? And you see now, they talk about empathy because they know in this like disassociated way that empathy is a good thing, to feel something for other people is a good thing. But more than that, they know that they can lambast people for not having empathy, whilst at the same time having no empathy whatsoever. Like, yeah, again, I go a lot on the TARDIS zone, and they can't stand Noel at the time. They just can't stand him, and you know, they will do those terrible things. They're absolutely the most terrible things. To me, they've been absolutely racist. You know, got this other guy, Mr. TARDIS Reviews, who keeps saying that I have white supremacists on my channel, and I keep asking, could you cite any? And when you were asking for specifics, they all like kind of clam up and fun. I think he blocked me when we started talking about racism, and I asked him about his history of supporting the biggest racist in British politics, Jeremy Corbyn. You know, like, I think biggest open racist since the brown shirts. You know, since the 40s. Not good. It was not good. And then he blocked me, and the minute it appeared, I knew what I was talking about. But you know, he likes to say I have white supremacists on. Just what they do, because, you know, anyhow, here's the thing. If you accuse somebody of being a racist, that can destroy someone's life. Unfortunately, they devalued it so much now, right? They completely devalued the accusation of racism, but by getting this guy, Mr. TARDIS Reviews, right? He keeps making these claims of white supremacy when none exists whatsoever, like zero, zilch, nothing exists. So it doesn't really matter. But, you know, that can destroy people's lives. Disingenuously, you know, accusing. Oh, yeah, with me, they accuse me of being sexually interested in children, right? Which is on an absolutely insane pretext. Because we're going to see why in a second. But I was doing this thing talking about different TARDIS team, different companions that I would like to sleep with. It was a comedic. It was a bit of a dark humor, bit of dark adult humor. Where I said, "Oh, look at Victoria," Victoria played by Deborah Watling. I would say one of the most beautiful people. I saw her at a convention in the 80s. Even that she was one of the most stunning people I've actually seen in my time. By the way, when you actually see these movie stars or TV stars in real life, they're like walking statues. I was at a convention in Miami about 10, 15 years ago, and I was just like walking around. That's one where I met was it Harlan Ellison? Harlan, the great writer Harlan. He saw I was wearing a kippah. You can't see I'm wearing a kippah because I got my Hanukkah hat on, which I'm going to wear all through till the New Year's. He sees my kippah, so he knows I'm Jewish. He's Jewish himself. Says, "Yeah, what are we going?" He looks over at me and says, "What are we going to do with all these effing goyim?" And goyim is a bit of a derogatory term for non-Jew. I was like, I just laughed. You know, what do you really do? So I think he was joking. But then at the same convention, I was walking around and I turned around, and all of a sudden I was standing like, I don't know, half a foot away from Chase Masterson, who was in Lita from Deep Space Nine. I mean, like, just stunning beyond stunning. It's really difficult not to stare, and people are like, how can you be so perfect? I don't know how I got onto this, but yeah. So, you know, when you bump into, like, you know, these movie stars in real life, they are breathtakingly gorgeous. So yeah, Deborah Watling. So anyway, yeah. So they all got off on call saying I was, you know, I can't say the word on YouTube, but you know, that they were really enjoying it until I pointed out that accusing a minority of some kind of like, this thing is just a go-to trait of racists that racists have always done throughout time, and it was funny. It was so funny. It was like they were like, you know, South Park, right? South Park, you have Cartman doing something terrible, going, and then they were going for day, and then when I said it, that you saw like the smile just like, and by their own rules they broke it because their own insane. Yeah, so but that caused more problems we're going to see. So they're difficulty empathizing with each other. Yes, they absolutely. Feeling of moral superiority, 100%, right? I've asked, like, what? Why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? And it's just because they say because we're intolerable, right? We're intolerant. Our dislike of Jodie Whittaker, anyone's dislike of Jodie Whittaker, isn't based in any way on the subject matter that's presented, right? And it doesn't matter what argument you would say. Well, I didn't like specifically her portrayal in this way, or that way. Doesn't matter. They all say no. No, you don't have any arguments, so why are you making it up? You do it because you hate women. And that's honestly what they are. So that's how they get their moral superiority, because they feel they're like, defending a victimized group. What you want to say no? Because they're freaking crazy. They are absolutely crazy. And importantly, and here's the thing that really, really, really sticks out. A thirst is a good word, thirst for vengeance, right? They want to see everybody not like them destroyed. They want to see, as Ian Chester said, which is really strange, they don't understand this. But, cognitive dissonance is that you won't understand it. Ian Chester said a dislike of the unlike, but it's they are offended, angry that people don't see the things the same way they. So this does sound a lot like them. These findings suggest that victimhood is a stable and meaningful personality tendency. It is. Well, look, the Twitter has made it possible. Let me just skim it. The researchers solicited several blah 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 blah. And we go through. Look, go check out the article for yourself. TIC was also a TIV. What's it called again? It's a tendency for interpersonal victim. TIV. It was also associated with increased experience of negative emotion and entitlement to immoral behavior. Exactly what I say. Why can we pretend that you are a racist or a somebody who likes sexually likes children? Because you don't like Jodie Whittaker. Experience of negative emotions and entitlement to immoral behavior. I don't know how better to describe them. The study distinguishes TIV from narcissism. Not because they are very narcissistic. Narcissistic individuals also experience moral superiority and vengeful desires, but these feelings tend to spring from the belief of that their authority, capacity, and grandiosity is being undermined. That does upset the not my doctor crowd. TIV, on the other hand, is associated with low esteem, low self-esteem. So so it's interesting. So I think you do have a mixed bag in the not my doctor crowd. What would I say, Mr. Vance and Mr. Tardar's reviews are? I don't know. Are they narcissists? Or are they TIV? I don't know. I don't know that well. And while narcissists do want to be victimized, high TIV individuals lash out when their victimhood is questioned. Well, that's an important factor because they do lash out. Fine. So let's just see how they do react to having their victimhoods challenge. So again, I'm just showing you their interactions with me, which is freaking. Oh, they're so funny. There it is. So, Svi, mate, people like yourself. Okay, by the way, they will never contact me directly or interact with me directly, and they do run screaming whenever I go into it. They do. Because why? Because they hate having their premises, their worldview, their victimhood question, which is what this is. So this was in response to this guy, John the White. He sent me a message. I got a reply to it. John the White engaging with Vinay Patel, and it didn't really come off well for Vinay Patel. He was just like, he told him to get the F out, which is which is what they want. They want anybody not like them gone. People like yourself and John White hardly represent all of fandom. So this is a great example of how disingenuous they are. Vinay Patel and the current Doctor Who production team literally tell fans. Does it say all fans? No, I don't think they tell fans like the Not My Doctor crowd, the insane, the people suffering from mental disorder. I don't think it was. I think it was telling sane people. Sane people go, I really don't like this Doctor Who. To get the F out of fact. So But if you lot did get the F out, we'd all be a lot happier. I know all 4 of you would be, right? Or I'll be generous. All 12 of you would be, right? I know that. But here, so we'll look. We can go through this for hours. The J-bot mailbox, mailbag, I call it. So yeah, here we again. What they really hate is their victimhood being questioned, right? And so what I try and do a lot with my channel is take the piss out of them. Show how stupid, how absolutely ridiculous their nonsense is. Because it is. I mean, it's not really hard. So they always use this. Did he just admit putting a spin on things? Well, firstly, every human being puts a spin on things, right? Every human being puts a spin on things because every human being has a worldview, right? But not being able to see that, that's not so good. So, so yeah. So that's the thing they wanted me to go after. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the last one is just so telling. This is from Yellow Morphine Mocha, okay, whoever you are. He literally does not care. He just wants to be human garbage. Now. That doesn't sound like somebody sane. That sounds like somebody suffering from some kind of mental neurological complaint. The trouble is there's no cure. There's no cure. It goes on here because let's see how it finishes up here. Writing in Scientific American, psychologist Scott Barry Kaufman notes that the researchers do not equate experiencing trauma and victimization with possessing victimhood mindset. Right. You don't have to. None of these people have to experience trauma of racism or whatever it is they're upset. But they can still be part of that victimhood mindset. They point out that the victimhood mindset can develop without experiencing severe trauma or victimization. I think it more often does. So he goes and backs us up. Encouraging people to be not to be defined by their traumas, real or imagined, seems like solid advice. But when the traumatized person, whether they've experienced a trauma or not, when they resents the challenge to the victimhood status and wants to punish those to take them away from them, getting advice across just might be a challenge. It might be a challenge. Another thing is challenge coexistence. They cannot coexist with anybody else. Look, fortunately, this era of Doctor Who has not gone down well. Right, it's not gone down well. Interest in Doctor Who is all-time low. I don't know how long they're going to stick around for. Maybe, I don't know how much longer this Doctor Who's going to say. I'm amazed. They're making another 8 episodes. But, I guess Russell T Davies said it best when he goes, none so queer as folk. Well, Russell T Davies, you had no bloody idea what was coming when you revived Doctor Who. Still glad you did it, even though we found we had to interact with these crazy people. What do you think about this study? I really think this describes them. My name is Phelan Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please do not forget to go check out my Indiegogo sign up. Thank you very much, and have yourselves a fantastic day.